Anyway, got my tea.
Got your tea. I'm pretty set, G. All I gotta do is sit here and chat shit. Hot tea. Jarran's got a hot tea. His hair looks good. Your hair looks fluffy, just like it should. Jarran Zen got the fluffy hair. His fluffy hair is spiking up where? In the air. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Your
Talk a
hair is
lot of
spiky.
shit. Talk a lot of shit. We're
Oh, yeah,
live,
man. I mean,
by the way, but
yeah,
still.
of course. I was hoping you would switch over as I went on my rant.
That's
That was
basic.
all off the top, people. I didn't spend hours
Off
writing
the
that or
top of my
anything.
dome.
Yeah,
Like a rock a microphone.
definitely didn't spend hours writing it or anything.
Let's see what you're doing.
No, I definitely did that ad lib, you know. Oh, shit, revealing my knee. I've got something under my butt. You know, you sit on the couch and then, like, your own shirt is under your butt.
It's just like random shit on your butt.
Yeah, and it's not quite like the normal couch vibe, the normal couch feel. Couches have got a certain like imprint to them.
Well, it's kind of like the Princess and the Pea. You know, couches are supposed to be comfortable, therefore you know exactly when it's not comfortable.
How does that relate to the Princess and the Pea?
Because the Princess and the Pea was all about a fucking princess not being able to sleep because of a pea. Why are you so blurry?
Wait, is she so she was peeing herself and then she couldn't sleep because of the pee?
Yes, well, it depends if you've been toilet trained at a young age or not.
Oh, I definitely wasn't,
Yeah, you pee
as
everywhere.
we've discovered in previous episodes.
It's
I think as an old person, what do you think will be the first like olfactory thing for you to go? What do you think, like eyesight, hearing, hair? I don't know if hair is olfactory really.
Yeah, olfactory is your nose. I don't know why you said olfactory, but you mean
Because like I imagine that it meant the factories that you're all things can look. I'm really tired today, Jarran.
being smart with dumb. Being smart
Man,
with dumb means making
might
up
fall
shit.
asleep on screen.
Fuck. Good question. I think it's like my joints are gonna fuck up first.
Well,
I think I'm just gonna have like shitty arthritis. But if not, I'd say my eyesight before my hearing.
you do have to wear glasses, don't you?
Like
Yeah.
for like extended screen shit.
But what's your like prescription number for
it's
those
like
eye dorks out there that want to know?
it's like 0.05, I think.
Okay.
It's like fucking
And
minimal.
minimal. Okay.
But glasses reduce eye fatigue, especially when I'm going for like a marathon session or something. Or if I'm reading a lot. Sometimes I read, who would have thought?
So when you use the ones for screen, do they have like a different UV filter or a different kind of?
No, but mine do anyway. They've got
Okay, so normally no, but yours do.
yeah, because I decided to go geriatric fast, which meant that I opted for the ones that change color in the sunlight, so I can be like super granddad.
Yeah, man. And also super suave, ready for any occasion. Glasses inside, glasses outside.
Yep,
Yep, definitely.
that's what I was gonna say. I could go one better and have the flip down ones. You know, you have your sunglasses over.
I'd be very impressed. Personally, I don't think I could ever pull off the fold down sunglasses look.
I don't think I could either
Nah,
without
mate,
like
you
a
could rock it.
pedophile hat.
Believe in yourself. What is a pedophile hat, Jarran?
I don't know, a
Could you
hat
define-
that pedophiles wear.
Yeah, I guess it. But is it one that they've previously worn? Like, and then you've got that at like a yard sale or something that you
No,
didn't
it's
like.
just a hat that makes you look like a pedophile.
Okay. So we're talking, yeah.
It happens. Are you just getting weird looks from your girlfriend right now? You're like,
A couple.
what kind of conversation are you guys having?
I'm glad that we've labeled this thing talking trash or garbage or
Yeah. Well, you've baited the whole conversation. So, hey Dom, tell us why you're so tired.
Oh no, I didn't even bait the whole conversation. I'm just
I know, I'm
tired.
just fucking
You know,
with you.
when so you go out in the sun all day and you do this thing called parkour, and then at different times you get more excited. You do more parkour, and then you like stretch a little bit, and you're like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't do any more." and then the twins show up, and then you're like, you know what, let's go do parkour more. And then we did like the twins are in Sydney at the moment, you know, training over here.
Sick.
So it's exciting because, you know, gonna get to do more jumps with more folks, and their level is obviously bloody ridiculous.
Yeah, I bet.
And I like having really high level athletes around because it's a different style of high level. Like these guys are like pure athletic, and their size and form is like, so it's going to push me in that aspect of training. You know what I mean? Because we're going to just do challenges together. It's going to force me to look at those sort of things more and do more kind of power based stuff.
I'm guessing it's a taboo if you just huck things.
It's not taboo. It's just that more like when I train with people, I like to try and find mutual challenges that we can all do, even if we're doing it in our own way. And those guys tend to look for more power-based challenges, which I find difficult. So I like to push to kind of keep up. And that gives me that, like, you know, and I do very much see it as keeping up, which is good because it gives me this, you know, extra challenge, extra hunt, extra level that I would be not gaining without them, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. If you look at, if you want to bring up Dylan Pawson's post today, you'll see what I mean. Just nice power plyo set, boom, at height. And also we did this really cool challenge that I want to talk about, which was all of us doing a precision at the same time. So there's 5 poles and there's 4 of us. And we go from the back pole, line it up as 4, and then do a 9-foot precision all in identical timing.
Oh, right. And this is the one on Dylan's.
Yeah. So see what I mean? They do big power-based stuff. Nice, beautiful stick. Bang.
Yeah, you've been out there before.
And then shunk. And so that challenge there was really fun. So the guy in front of me, Jacob Rod, he hasn't done like precisions to pole at height before, like between 2 pillars. He's never like really done it. But we were just in that kind of like group energy of like, okay, if you go up and try this one, see which one you're more comfortable with. So we did it a few times and then we're like, cool, we'll just like, try and all line it up. And then we all kind of just slowly consecutively joined in. But it was a super fun challenge and really hard to get the same timing, to get that identical. Like even the last one there, we're a tiny bit off.
Yeah.
It's like,
notice that you got one of the twins to do the end one, which is the biggest.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to turn around and do it back the other way, but the one that Dylan is on the end there, he's doing is, so it's like 9.5 feet, but it's on the way back, it's up as well, and it's just enough up that it puts you off to like a consistent bounce. Yeah. So like a couple of us tried it, we just like kept bouncing it. But Brody got the whole set, so I couldn't get more than 2, but Brody managed to do all 5 and then front out. It was fucking awesome. Lady. Yeah. So it's really exciting to have those guys around in Sydney training more. Boom, boom. And it was a hot day. Summer's definitely here. It was really dry in the air.
Oh, really?
It was
really
steamy.
Humid down here. Like here was like, you know, that uncomfortable humid. I think it was like 29, but it was like bleh, not nice.
Thick air. You're like paddling through it.
But the thing is, if it was humid like it was down here, up in Sydney, you'd be like, storm's coming. Down here you're just like,
so
fuck.
It wasn't enough that it was like storms coming, that like really thick like weather, but the sun was just beating down. It was really still, and then a storm passed over, but it was like over in the distance to the left, whatever, north, south, east, west, no idea which way because I don't know geography or anything like that. But a storm passed over, a really small one just went like across the sky. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
It's just, hey, storming over there.
It's one of the things that I miss about Sydney. You know, just you get like maybe 2-3 a year, just those fuck off massive tropical storms, and they come in and the storm front is just kind of curling, and you're just like, oh, that's gonna be fucked.
I don't know if you were working on any of those days when we were doing the trash, and like, did you ever work on one of those torrential days? Because what used to happen is it would rain so hard that it would pick up the recycling bins. And then the recycling bins would float down to the end of the street. These 140-litre bins just float and then tip over at different points. And so they'd just be recycling everywhere, and it's pissy nasty. You have to like kind of clean it up. You have to get all the bins and take them back to the appropriate houses. I remember one day specifically, I was still living in Canterbury at the time, and I had to get the train home after, and I like thought I was going to get hypothermia because there was air conditioning on the train, and every time my chest would like touch material or my back would touch material, I'd like I was like shivering. It's awful.
You remember that time on the truck when you almost got hypothermia and you had to go home?
Maybe.
It was fair near the end of our runs on the trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, you decided to not wear a jumper, and it was raining and stuff. And you're like, I can't do this. I need to go home. And you just like, I'm just like, go. And you just like ran off. It was on a Monday, I think, and we were up near the McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I don't know why. I thought I had a jacket. And I thought, you know, when you just have in your head that you're going to be able to smash it out.
Just like,
and the thing about the Monday shift is it's never smashable because you just have to drive.
Yeah.
So just sitting on the back of that truck. Yeah. Jesus.
I miss it apart from the garbage and the, you know, shitty pay and that kind of thing. Well, I guess it's not really
shitty pay retrospectively. Like, I thought it was good pay. Like, if you wanted, you could just pick up a second job in the afternoon. You'd be like making bajillions.
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah, it's like at the time we were doing pretty well. Yeah.
It was still like I've just never been one for super good financial planning or like financial fortuitousness. Just I get enough in and then I spend it all, and then I get enough in to like kind of do that, and then I spend it all again.
Yeah, I know that. I do that same shit. And
I mean, I wonder what the ratio is of people in the world that do live paycheck to paycheck, especially in Australia, because I think Australia is kind of like we have this decent income, but we have like one of the highest costs of living. So there is this constant swap out. And I'm like, almost everybody I know in my peer circle, even in like older circles, like my family, friends, parents, friends, that sort of thing, everyone it lives from that paycheck to paycheck in that kind of cycle and needs to continue to work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know a lot of retirees, but you know, it's hard to get ahead.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting because everyone goes on about like passive income and like do a thing and make money in your sleep, that kind of thing. I still don't know anyone that's actually done that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not willing to click any of the ads that are like, hey, join my pyramid scheme and you can make $500 a week just sitting there. And also, I don't want to just sit there. If I have to sit there and occasionally tap a button, that's not good enough for me. I don't care if I only think $1,000 a week. That I would kill myself after like 3 of it.
Well, that's an interesting point. Like, because my definition of happiness is like striving towards something meaningful, like throughout life.
Yeah.
And what is yours? Like,
seems pretty deep.
Tapping the fucking button.
More like.
Mine's tapping more like. The button doesn't work for me.
I guess like constant progression.
It's the same fucking thing, though.
Yeah, but you're striving for like some sort of end. Yours has like an end goal, whereas mine is more endless.
I don't have an end goal.
But you were saying you got to put it towards something
meaningful.
Meaningful. Okay.
So like jumping to you is meaningful. The mastery of music to me is meaningful. It's something that gives your life value, but doesn't necessarily have an end goal. Mastery of music, where the fuck does that end?
Yeah, true. No, I get what you're saying, for sure. Yeah, I mean,
but some people just want the cash. They're just like fucking just.
Yeah, I definitely get that. But for me, it's not even so much mastery; it's like intrinsic enjoyment. You know what I mean? Like, the bonus, I guess, of intrinsic enjoyment is mastery, to a certain extent. But then it's also figuring out how to continue that. Like consistent cycle where you're able to intrinsically enjoy what you're doing and sustainably live life.
Yeah.
Balance. Zen. Jarran Zen. Yin yang.
Obviously there's tea in the middle. Tea in the middle of the yin yang. Oh, look at you go. I'm gonna do a love hut.
I've got curvy thumbs, so it kind of works. Like,
You
uh,
you curvy thumbed guy.
isn't that weird? It's like, hey, where's that guy? He's over there. What, downstairs? Like, apparently they call it like gamer thumbs, but like I suck at gaming, so I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
Tried to do an ollie on Little Sam's skateboard today and almost rolled my ankle. Skateboarding, man. That's just dangerous.
Don't cross train.
There's no way I'm
Don't do
cross
it.
training. No, it's it's not good for the body or the mind.
Oh, that actually kind of segues pretty nicely into what you wanted to talk about.
What do I want to talk about?
Like, cross training is not good for the mind, but failure is good for the mind. Also, you're blurry as fuck, lady. What the fuck's going on? Did you put it on manual focus? Because you keep moving back and forwards, so it doesn't work. Oh, so you're in focus now. Good. Hey, that
so
camera...
I just stay like this for the rest of the night.
That camera doesn't suck when you're that far ahead, apparently.
What did you? What did you say?
We were talking about narcissism and Joe Rogan.
Oh, yeah. So the JRE podcast with who was that with? Gosh,
some
phone
guy,
reference.
Some guy that does psychology and wrote a book on narcissism.
Yeah. So his main like field of expertise, Keith Campbell, but his main field of expertise was narcissism, and he was talking about how a kind of a good way for narcissism to be kind of countered in life, in general life, is people that come up against failure more often than not, because they learn to deal with that failure. And I was thinking, there's not a lot of parkour athletes that I know out there that are very narcissistic, and I think that's because on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, they're like putting themselves out there openly to fail and having to accept that failure for what it is if they want to progress. Yep. There's no, with parkour, it's very literal. You can't leave you fail. You can't just be like, oh no, I didn't fail. I meant to. Like, it doesn't play off that way. And then within yourself that. And so I was thinking, like a lot of people that have been with the sport for a very long time, and these dudes that are like super calm, super well collected, centered people. Like, for example, I would use people like Jason Paul, Jesse LaFleur, Paulo Tavares, Jesse Peveril, in all their different ways. Phil Doyle, they're very well-adjusted, mentally healthy people, and they don't seem to have narcissistic qualities where they're, needing to use that to kind of get power or seek any more value. They're doing it very genuinely and organically. Not in a narcissistic way, which is why they don't receive much hate, and there's more of a positive flowing system there. Mm-hmm. And I just thought it was interesting, the commonalities of failure. So the more you come up against those inherent, like definite, literal failures, it makes you more humble in a sense. Definitely in certain aspects, anyway.
Do you think that there's a kind of progression that you go through? Like the kid that just learns that he's got some flips on lock and goes into a kind of narcissistic trajectory, and
for sure
some shit and eats some humble pie, and then is like comes back down to baseline.
Yeah, I mean, that's a common trope I would see in even myself, and even like many athletes, and not even just athletes, like people outside that also I've seen who accumulate wealth or fame or any of those sort of things. There is generally this peak at the beginning of that. And it's also because when you're on that hunt and when you're trying to achieve those things, those narcissistic qualities tend to be more necessary to achieve that. You need to have that kind of pride, that kind of like a more grandiose one, like you believe in yourself, and that's a little bit of overconfidence when you're on the ride to achieve it. But then when you achieve it, most of the time, depending on what you're trying to attain or what you're trying to achieve, it's not that you eat humble pie necessarily. There's a recognition of the hard work that goes into those processes, the people that are involved, and the special relationships that are formed along that way to make that possible. Mm-hmm. And the total understanding of your place in the system. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's where, like, I would say, the old adage, like, getting a little big for your boots.
Yeah.
I'd say, like, a lot of younger athletes, or just over the years, athletes, as they've grown up and, get a bit big for their boots and get a bit like, I deserve this right now. I even remember, like, when I went to join Team Farang in 2012, when they first started, I was kind of under the impression that I was just going to be a part of it, get on board, bang, bang, bang. And so there was this kind of, now looking back, icky sense of entitlement, like, oh, I deserve to be here, without actually doing all of the processes and work or showing up and being a part of the bigger picture. It was like, you almost think like, oh, I've got the talent, so I don't have to do any of the other shit. They just have to kind of see my talent and recognize that and give me the opportunity. But that's not how it works. Everybody has to kind of staple in and grind away at these things to get further along. And it was only when I like didn't end up joining the team when it started, went home and then refound my own position, passion, drive, then that ended up me joining the team in the future anyway, because that was seen by them and, recognized, and they, always did want me to flourish, but needed to know that it wasn't just, hey, I can show up and do jumps.
Yeah. That it was actually something a little higher than that.
Yeah, a grander goal or a larger scheme, which for me was always the involvement of as many people in parkour as possible. That was my, like, and still to this day is like my overlying message with what I'm trying to do with promoting the sport. I just want it to look fun. I want people to be involved, and I want them to understand all the good lessons that can be learned from trying those physical challenges and trying to overcome those obstacles.
Yeah, of course. Like, I'm sure anyone that has jumped knows about getting over fear, even if it's just to a small extent.
Yeah, there's so many lessons to be learned and so much goodness that can be taken out of it. And I'm not saying like you all have to do it and you all aren't going to learn those messages without it, for sure not. I just want to see the positives of it. It's like people that do get that, I want as many people to have that opportunity to experience that. And that kind of culture, I guess, or community driven mindset is something that is paralleled throughout Team Farang. And that's where we kind of sit with where our brand is based in community and culture. We're trying to always escalate those things and keep those things as active and flourishing as possible. It's not for us about doing the best trick, making the most amazing like viral videos, or trying to like be the most intense brand. Like we just want to keep promoting parkour and culture and see as many people find it as cool as we do.
Yeah, of course. All right. Question. Is there an exception to the rule? Now, you don't have to name names or anything like that, but does anyone come to your mind that is just an exception to the rule in the narcissistic front? Like, for some reason, they just have an unhealthy level of narcissism.
Okay, yeah, that verifies it for me, because I was going to confirm whether you mean an unhealthy amount or like didn't actually see any narcissistic qualities whatsoever. I guess there's definitely exceptions in both routes. I also think that comes down to like what's that, nature. So like how you're brought up. There's certain
nurture.
like nature versus nurture. So, yeah, so nurture. That's what I'm thinking of. Nurture. Like you're brought up in these different ideologies and these different cultures, which are totally out of your control. The Australian mentality is completely different to like the American mentality, which is completely different to the Greek mentality in life in general. Their culture, how they live day to day is so different, and what they value and how they kind of treat each other is so different that no matter what, like, I've kind of lost the tangent now. What like narcissistic qualities are put forward, there's always going to be exceptions or deviations.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I learned from that guy, is like he's talking about disorders, but everyone has a scale. Like everyone is scalable to grandiose narcissism. Myself, you, blah blah blah. I caught a fish, it was this big. You know what I mean? That sort of believing or like betraying higher than for yourself. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of, I've met a few people in life who are just like, no way, like they just don't have a drop of narcissism in them. It's crazy. You're like, how are you so genuine?
It must be a little bit confronting.
Definitely.
Because they would then mirror to you how self-centered and narcissistic you are.
Yes, yeah, like subconsciously, or like not even like by doing anything, just
It
by
just
being
highlights
themselves.
it.
Yeah, it highlights it to you, and
Yeah,
then you're
you're
like,
like, oh
oh,
shit.
why am I such a jerk?
Yeah. Well, it's funny that because I'm sure a lot of people when they first meet you think you're a bit of a jerk, or just think because you're so happy-go-lucky and just like so blah, especially because it would be probably at a jam or something like that where you're scooting around the place and being like, gotta go here, gotta go there.
I would say less and less progressively over the years, for sure. I think there was like this aura of overconfidence as a teenager, definitely. And that like my first impression like with people was always so shit. But as the time goes on, even if I'm kind of a little overbearing or loud at those situations, usually it's in a jovial, self, not self-deprecating, but like, you know, being able to take the piss of myself in the situation as well. So it's, I feel like less and less I kind of have had that arrogant effect. Also, just because I don't think my shit don't stink, I'm like very aware of my like shortcomings as a person and totally happy to like sit in that field and try and work as opposed to believe in being holier than thou.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's part of growing up.
I'm never gonna grow up. I got PPS. You want me to tell you what PPS is? You want to take a guess? It's a good one. I mean, take the phrase "I'm never going to grow up" and put
Peter
it
Pan syndrome.
Yeah, Peter
Fuck.
Pan, Peter Pan.
Well,
Fantasy Island, mate.
here's me.
That's definitely not what that's called.
Here's me never growing up. Fucking.
Can you even put that on the internet, Jarran?
Yeah, fuck him. This is one thing that I really have a problem with in Australia. Is
Yes.
bicycle laws. What the flying fuck?
You'll have to kind of elaborate because I'm not unaware of the bicycle laws in Australia.
So I wore a helmet. I'm like, okay, cool. I know that a helmet, I've been pulled over before, I've gotten cautions. I wear a helmet now. And now they're telling me that you can't run red lights and you have to wear lights on your bicycle at midnight. Fucking bullshit.
The audacity.
The audacity.
I mean, that like really, they're treating them like vehiclers, like they're they're manual vehiclers, not like automated vehiclers. So you can't just be like.
Let's just say I blame myself. It was like a black cop car, and I cut the red next to it. So
nice.
I was listening to a podcast.
Yeah,
just putting that one out there.
I was gonna say, why don't you just like, because you have no lights on your bike, why don't you just take like a dirt road and then do some jumps and then like do a backflip and then like you'll be out of there. I've seen movies.
Not paying attention. Not in the fucking slightest.
The only time I've ever been stopped, I was in Mascot one time and I was riding a Lime bike, like one that I had used the app to hire. Yeah. And I was riding along.
How the hell did you get out to Mascot?
Huh?
Is that even within the zone of a Lime
bike?
Yeah.
They were all around Sydney at one point. They've kind of
Jesus.
pulled them in now because I think due to vandalism, but also COVID, so they can't have shared bikes. That doesn't. Yeah, that's not COVID safe. Yeah, so I'm riding down Mascot, and it's like I just picked up the bike because like it was the only bike there, and they're like, stop next to me, and they're like, "Excuse me, buddy, where's your helmet?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, the bike didn't come with a helmet. I've just got to get where I'm going. I don't have a helmet with me. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, you got to pull it over and lock it up and walk. And I was like, what? like I'm riding on the footpath as well, not the road. So I thought, like, surely I'm fine. But yeah, they were like, no, no, no. And they like fully like cruise slowly away to make sure I did. I was like, oh, I don't understand.
Yeah,
Very
motherfuckers.
strict. Yeah. That's
Not
my
only
only
that,
experience with it.
apparently it's the law that you need to have a bell. Would you just like put a bell on your bike? Just for
But
funsies?
just
Just put a little bell?
but they're also like that they're racking up the cost that you now have to spend on purchasing a bicycle.
Yeah.
Like imagine you're just like, I just want to buy a bike so I can get to work really easy. I don't have much money, so I just spend like $200, and then they're like, oh no, you need lights, and you're like, oh, okay,
Lights, $50.
I need to get another, yeah, okay, $100, and then you're like, okay, but now I need a bell, and like obviously you don't want to get like a cheap run of the mill old school bell because that's just gonna fall apart straight
Yeah, that
away.
would be pretty fun. I
Yeah.
asked if I was allowed to get an air horn. He's like, yeah, you're probably not allowed to have an air horn. I was like, for fuck's sake, you're not even going to let me make it fun?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, that reminds me about the spot the other day. So as of a couple of days ago, we went down to Wavebreaker is a nickname, but it's in Botany. There's a bunch of concrete pylons that have been piled next to the water.
Yeah, is that the one
But
that you and Kadori went to a whole bunch?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Kadori has the illustration thing of it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
alright,
the
I know
very
the one.
same. So I mean, you could probably flick it up on.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know
going
where
to be
the
hard. When was
frick
the
you would
last
find it.
time that you guys posted on that?
I posted on my story the other day, but Instagram wise, I go to Kadori's and then just scroll.
Alright, you
But
tell a story.
I gotta I gotta tell this thing anyway.
Alright,
So
you do that.
they've now put up a bunch more signs saying please don't go down onto the rocks like every 50 meters as opposed to like barely ever. And they have someone patrolling along the edge on foot, looking over down onto the rocks. Now there you go. You can see his photo go up, 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 up. Bang. Photo
What?
there.
Where? Oh. Yeah,
Don't you wear me like that.
I wanted to get a video.
So this spot is no longer available in Sydney.
Serious?
I mean, they were pretty kind, and they just said like it's the Port Authority as well, so it's a little bit more steep than just your average security guard. And they just thought they were really reasonable as well. They were just like, our management's seen the video, they've chewed us out about it. We can't have you guys coming down here anymore.
Right.
And
So it was because of you guys.
Yeah. It's
And
totally
like
on us.
Kadori having viral TikToks of it and
Exactly.
that kind of thing.
I mean, it kind of is an interesting thing. I obviously can't speak about it in depth, but you know the other situation with that, and it's like there's more and more that is happening where we're just going to areas to do parkour. There's another one where we did a descent. It might be near where you're scrolling actually. And we were then contacted at a future date and asked not to return. Not that one. That's just a drop.
Well, man, I thought I was on the money for a second.
No, you're not at that level yet, Jarran.
Damn.
One day, when you're stronger and your fingertips are more dexterous. But yeah, so there's been a few times now in Sydney where we've been asked to like messaged or contacted after the fact and asked not to like return or, you know. And generally it's not in like an aggressive way or anything like that. You know, if they're contacting us by through social media online, they're like, hey, you know, we just saw the video and we just have to say like, you know, blah, blah, blah. So it's never usually like in an aggressive manner, but it's happening more and more, which is really interesting because that's something like
that sucks.
You know,
like
never really had before, but we never had really the exposure that we have had, and we've been like really, you know, Kadori and I've been doing a lot of training around Sydney and being seen doing so. So
yeah, of course, because that's what you're going for. Interesting. I remember that. I don't know if it was Alfie Green, but definitely Jaden Clark was like, I think he got a cease and desist order in Canary Wharf, and they're like, if you do parkour in Canary Wharf, we will like sue you. And they just knew exactly who he was, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, yeah,
But that's the price of notoriety.
it's-
Though he lives around there, but still.
but it just speaks to like the misunderstanding and misappropriation of what the sport is.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, I understand the perceived danger element and the public liability aspect. You know, I totally get that. But, you know, if any of those people who are in charge of those situations were to like have a conversation with 90% of the parkour community, they would understand like, oh, these people are, you know, not doing it to be reckless, not doing it to be a nuisance. And like a lot of the time, what the perception of danger is minimalized. I like it better. Is minimalized by the like theory, time, and effort and practice that's gone into those specific things.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're just jackass wannabes doing stunts. You
One day I'll be
fucking
Steve-O.
fucking kids. What, doing a bunch of ketamine and nitrous oxide?
Yeah, and going in a portaloo that gets flung up with a bunch of poo. But that wasn't really human poo. It was like they weren't allowed to do it with human poo. So you did it with
Really?
like dog and horse poo, something like this. Yeah. Yeah, that scene made me gag.
That's still pretty funny. Like, because that tells you how rank humans are in general.
Oh yeah.
If you like did that, you would get really sick.
Have you ever thought about how humans used to use the loo? They used to sit in like a room and like no cubicles, just all kind of empty into like this waste area. And it like seems like to me the scariest prospect in the world is just like mutually dumping everyone's feces into one area, but like without any filtration. Just
Yeah.
like, hey, let's put our
Depends how
waste
deep
here.
your hole is.
Oh man, did you see that? What's that movie, Slumdog Millionaire? When he jumps into the poo.
Really? Do you have a thing like? Do you get squeamish around poo? What happens if you
No,
ever have a kid, man?
no, I didn't get no. Okay, so I didn't see around like a little bit of poo. It's cool, like dog poo on the floor, like poo on my hand. That's fine, right? But if I had to submerge myself in feces, I would have an issue. I would not do it.
Oh yeah, just I don't know, man. I think you're a bit weird. Don't
Yeah.
most people just want to submerge themselves in poo?
Dude, there's this jump I did today, and I'm pretty sure on the right side it was just
Poo.
shit.
No,
And
yeah.
then the other side looked like clear, nice water. And we're like, if you fall off, just fall left or right, depending on which way you were doing the jump.
What was this, a wolf thing?
I found like a water reservoir thing. It was pretty cool. But then, so it had like a good run up and a good, like maybe 11-foot-ish 10-foot-ish pre, which you could then have a replica of to plyo. But then the middle stump, the concrete head just moved entirely, so you could like lift it off if you wanted. And I didn't want to, obviously. So yeah, I didn't get to do the stride challenge, but I did try like this dirty plyo down that hopefully will be in Brody's story.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Is that
Hopefully
because
my
you don't
friends
have
will
the clip?
post pictures of me doing jumps.
Hashtag save your clips, bro.
No, I don't do that. Have we had this discussion on the
Yeah,
podcast?
we've had this discussion.
We don't do this. What am I gonna watch tonight then, Jarran? Huh? Tell me. Huh?
Exactly.
Huh? Huh?
Actually, I don't know what you were gonna watch because you finished Game of Thrones. Have you guys
Yeah, I
been
haven't.
binge watching shit?
So the new series that Saturday and I are watching is New Girl, starring Zoe Deschanel.
No idea.
It's great. It's really well written. Characters are really like strong and clear, and the dynamic of the like extras in the cast fits really well. Like the beats are good. I'd say there's like a few kind of tropey things and a few kind of like the show has its own thematic feel that can get a bit like sometimes, but I guess that's because it's not set in a precinct or set in like, you know, that kind of setup that I'm used to. It's more like the apartment thing. not a classroom, like community or a precinct like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's just their apartment and then other places.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is good.
Man, cool. Andy Samberg's a genius.
That was a really good show.
Yeah, he has incredible. It's not just him, obviously, but him as, mainly. I would like to. Well, imagine one day working with Andy Samberg. That would be sick.
Just put it out there. Put it out there in the universe.
Well, obviously he's watching the
provide.
podcast, so just Andy, have your people contact my people, and we'll just make that happen, G.
No, put it out into the universe, and the universe will provide.
Mate, that's just how I live life. One neuro-linguistic program at a time.
Oh, so check this out. I'm doing, my mix engineer. Stop looking at my screen.
I'm checking it out, Jarran.
Stop it. So I've just been sent by my mix engineer like 12 progressive metal tracks to put death metal cello on.
What is progressive metal, Jarran?
It's like metal with way more way more structure changes. I wouldn't even say way more chord changes. Way more structure changes. Just constantly goes places and shit. And that breaks down into things, and then it goes somewhere else.
It's more like, I'm just gonna do it.
They just have like
be like
6, 7.
But more.
Actually, basically just that.
Sick, bro.
Basically just that.
I'm really good at mouthing songs and words. That's like my secret talent.
Well, actually,
my party trick.
That's basically how I write, like myself.
Basically how you write.
See what you did there? There's bass behind me. See
Behind
what happened? Who would have thought?
Boom.
Wow.
Should we field questions from the audience?
Yeah, man.
We may not have yet.
Not a question, but anyway, fucking Vanille's like, Dom, did you change your number?
I did. So every time I've come home, I have lost the SIM card for the other thing, and then don't have that number anymore. Definitely.
It just crazes me out that people
Vanille,
actually keep their
Instagram
number.
me, and then I will send you my number, bro.
I think it's crazy. I don't know. I don't keep my number for more than like a year, maybe 2.
Hey, my Antec has had the same number since I've met him. So I met Antec in 2008 or 2009. And this motherfucker has had the same number since. So at least 10 years, possibly 12. He's had 0458580774. Give him a call.
So this was actually something that I was going to bring up anyway, but it's a question: how do you feel about being Jimmy the Giant's 9th favorite athlete?
9th favorite, bro. I'm honored to be on the list. Yeah.
I don't think it was meant in that way.
Like, well, yeah. I'm honored. I'm just generally honored to be on any favorite list because that's nice. The only switch around I would make from Jimmy's list personally is like, and this is no discredit to who I would take out, it's more credit to who I would put in, is Nate Weston for me would replace Josh Mellon.
Well, Josh Mellon will always be my number one.
Twisties, yeah.
Amazing.
But like, it's just more if I was thinking about, yes, he's pushed more envelopes in his own device, but Nate is just so overwhelmingly incredibly skilled and talented and has like done so many firsts within the sport as well. I just Nate should be in the top 10 definitely. Tim Champion's another one I would put in there. I don't know who else I would take out because everyone is so good, but Tim Champion's always to me one of the best all-round athletes in the world.
Yeah, right. I think someone put that in the comments. Because I'm the kind of person that half watches a video and then reads the comments the rest of the way through.
No, that's good. I'm the type of person that's like, I'm in it, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I get you.
I obviously haven't failed enough times to lose my narcissism.
Oh, that's true.
I should probably fail more.
Yeah, but then you might get injured.
At parkour. That doesn't really happen though. That's the best part. I just fail, and then I'm like, "Ow,
I
I've got a
know you have
bruise."
a great bloopers reel.
Oh
Oh,
man.
dude, can you do a video of just like all your bloopers, but to the Benny Hill theme?
Well, I
Do you know
have.
what the Benny Hill theme is?
I do know what
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah,
is. I
all right,
definitely do.
good.
But what I was thinking is, you make your version of Benny Hill theme. I have a
Can it
from
just
the last time I made King of Fails to current King of Fails compilation to make. I think it's 4, which is nuts. That I have like that would be like 30 minutes almost total of me falling over quite painfully or badly or
all right? Can
dramatically.
it just be just a guitar version of the Benny Hill theme? Because Chet Atkins already did that, and I'll just do a cover of Chet Atkins.
As long as I don't, as long as it won't get me demonetized on my not monetized channel.
Well, no, I see what you did there. No, it should like. So he did it like this, but that's because he was a fucking
You should
country.
make a death metal version.
Yeah, I just
Make a progressive rock version.
prog rock, man. Yeah. All right, I'll do it. I'll do a cover of that for you. It will be great.
Thank you.
Next question is for me. How many instruments do you have? Well, that's a hard question because what do you mean? What do you mean? Do you mean electronic instruments? Do you mean acoustic instruments? What?
Can you even have an instrument, bro?
Yeah, an instrument has you. You are a symbiosis with your instrument at the point in time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, acoustic instruments. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in my general vicinity. I've got a bunch of synths over here. There's a turntable that I'm quietly learning how to unturntable. I got a kazoo.
Please play your kazoo.
It's in my knickknacks box. This is my knickknacks box. It's just got a whole bunch of like weird shit in it.
That look like SD card holders or SD card readers or SD cards.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like USB-C to USB-A adapters and shit.
That
you know
shit's
how it goes.
importante. You would not.
Oh,
wow,
I'll do the
that's
Benny
cool.
Hill theme on a fucking kazoo.
That's great. That's so
done.
good. Please do that. Because like my theme for my channel is me doing a kazoo imitation.
It's almost a kazoo.
That kazoo looks remarkably like a pipe that you smoke from.
Dude, I don't do drugs. I don't know about this. What are you talking about? I've never even stepped foot out of this studio.
That's
All I
great.
do is drink tea.
Play that kazoo.
Light that kazoo on fire.
Yo, hit that kazoo, G.
Interesting trivia, by the way, not a question. 80% of Ireland lives paycheck to paycheck.
I reckon it's about the same here, to be honest.
Well, like...
That's pretty crazy, though.
A lot of us are
That's
Irish.
because they don't have potatoes.
Okay, existential question. If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty?
Both.
That is from Tate T. Langway.
Okay, so basically what happens is there's some dirt that will be transferred onto the soap, but the way soap works is that then you just rub that soap with not the thing that you want to clean, and that layer of grime and dirt will dissolve away with that top layer of soap. Therefore, you will have clean soap after the fact. In the moment, I can't even tell you. I think it does both. You know what I mean? The floor gets a little bit clean, your soap gets a little bit dirty. A little pish for posh, a little yin for yang, a little PC for Mac.
I stopped listening to you.
Same.
All right, this is actually a good question. Reese the
Don't lie to me.
Apple. I, for some reason, remember that name for some reason. Anyway, how can I improve my front flips impact? Because I can control high fronts, but the impact sucks, dude.
So you need to go into more very small impact, like less than head height impacts without front flips, and understand what absorption means and the best way that your body absorbs. Like there'll be a little bit of a difference between you and your best mate, or you and like somebody else that you train with, in how you absorb the weight correctly. My rolls look kind of fucking weird and shit, but that's because they work for me. You need to do, like, I would say 100 drop to rolls onto grass from less than head height, like eye to nose, eye to chin height, and just think about how you're absorbing and how you're rolling, consciously being aware in the moment of how that absorption feels and how to maximize the best way to like take it and transfer it.
Yep. That is definitely an answer.
That was like a pretty decent, that was a really real one.
It was a good answer. What I would say to that is you also want to do some conditioning. Get some little conditions. Possibly it means like fatiguing out your landing gear, so to speak. So maybe you want to be doing a bunch of like plyo kind of things, either jumping up to things or plyo drops and just getting that landing, or maybe you need to go and just do some heavy squats and just put your like tendons and your ligaments under strain, and
but
then
at a controlled state instead of
so like really, really slow, but maybe if you do it with the right form, even get on a fucking leg press and just sit there and like get just time under tension and heavy bullshit. See if you can get some
it's crucial to know what your body's loading structure is like, and be that through weight training or like just practical use of parkour. That is the real fundamental message there, is that you need to understand how your body absorbs impact. Because like sure, you can like do the fronts and take the height, but after a while your body's going to degrade, and as your skill level increases, you need to have your body's capabilities and strength match up with what you want to be able to do skill wise.
Yep, definitely. All right, here's a interesting question from Ruben Garcia Vidal.
Hola.
Yep. What do you think about Polanski?
He's amazing. Simply is like he's somebody who was doing his own thing like that before it was cool, before it was trending, before it was like known as action comedy or viral content. He was always doing that. He was always being his own individual artist. He's very inspirational. He's very creative, and like when I've hung out with him, he's like the most fun individual. He's always moving, always kind of thinking, and always trying to create, which is really good to be around.
I'm really glad that you knew who they were talking about. I thought they were talking about, what do you think of Roman Polanski? And I'm like Sharon Tate?
I wouldn't even be able to tell you more than those names.
Yeah. All right. So then you have to, for people listening and idiots like me, who actually is Polanski?
Go to Instagram and type in the word Polanski. My world essentially revolves around Instagram in knowledge and reference sake. So like this guy is this Instagram handle. Like Kadori's Kadori, you know what I mean?
This is a chick.
That's M Polanski. So I don't know how you got an M in front of there.
Oh, is it this guy Polanski London?
No. Oh, it's double L.
Oh, look at that guy.
Just slow down. He's pretty cool though. You should give him a follow, Jarran. Hey. Everyone go and follow that guy. It's Polyansky, so can you just slow down?
Hey.
There he is, Polyansky. I can spell.
You said it was a double L, you motherfucker.
Yeah, well, look, if you look at it, if you look at the L and the I, they look like they could be joined.
Is that a side flip into a car?
Yeah, he's done it a few times. This one's spectacular.
Jesus.
The one into the van was smoother. But the fact that he drives away out of that one's pretty nuts.
Wow. So
I love the umbrella one. Have a look at this umbrella one, second one. Love this. Oh,
Ah, yes.
it's way more Jackie Chan
Yeah,
than
yeah.
it is like parkour and free running, but he does it so well. Ready?
Oh, what?
Like, you know, I'm sure he tried that like 200 times,
Yeah.
27 times, and it was seen amount of times to be doing that.
It looks like he comes from a country that possibly there's a lot of rain.
Russia,
Yeah, sure.
Moscow, I believe he's from. Look, he fired. I don't. Okay,
He
okay. This
does
is what
have
I
an
think.
AK-47, so
Does he
definitely.
fire it? This is what I want to know. I don't think this is like. I think they're added in post, right?
Yeah, it's
Too perfect to be a real muscle flash.
it's too perfect, and that's way too dangerous. Like,
Yeah, because he might shoot the person.
yeah, you can't control that kind of shit. Also, there's no recoil.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good. That's a good. Yeah. 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 That's a good note. So,
Yeah,
bang,
there's
that
no
would throw
recoil.
him slightly off in
Yeah,
his side flip, especially where he is.
yeah, or it would least he would have to
That was so jokes.
So he's running backwards in that.
So the train, I think just the opposite to the train.
That's awesome.
Like,
Yeah, dude, this is amazing. This guy's like just super. Is this the?
yeah, that's the fail. I don't know if it's the one, but it's so good. Oh yeah, this is the progression chain for it. One foot in.
Oh,
Ugh. That's so good. Just the way he knew to like rip around enough. Look how smooth that is. That's like, come on. Boom, onto the shit. Rolls his knees in, and let's go.
Not only that though, there's also the framing of it.
Yeah.
Notice that instead of just having that wedge run up, it's the wedge run up with a box and two
Yeah,
other things.
and he reveals the car. Like it's all part of the ensemble. I think he takes quite a lot of care and
Yeah.
thought with how he shoots it. See that one next to the car one where he's laying on his back? That one he got injured from. He's recovering up,
This
up,
one?
up. No, up, up, up. The middle one. Not down. The only one you haven't touched down.
Hey, shut up.
He actually really hurt himself on this one. He was out for a little while.
No.
Yeah, that one kind of fucked him up for a little bit. But yeah, that's Polanski.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good place to wrap it up, unless you have any other things to.
Well, let's just check because we didn't get very
Czech
close.
Republic.
We didn't get close to any of the things.
Well,
Shut up. Speed fire round. Where in Australia are the best places to train?
Sydney.
That's
So true.
lie. Such a lie.
Probably Brisbane or Scarborough Beach in
Nice.
Perth.
Has anyone inspired you to do parkour and why they inspire you?
Daniel Ilbacker, because he's parkour Jesus.
He is parkour genius.
Jesus.
I said genus.
Okay.
Do you hope to parkour by your 50s?
Yeah, I want to do a 5-meter front flip onto sand when I'm 50.
Ooh, Ashigaru. Dom, do you think that you're going to live in Europe soonish, or is Sydney going to stay your base and you'll just travel around?
I believe that. It's a really hard question. Definitely, like, we'll be trying to get over that side and spend more time there, but whether we can pull off living is another matter. It's just more logistical. That's the dream, really, I think, to be based over there, but got to figure out how that would all work within my life schematics.
Yep. All right. How can I find good spots for training?
Go on Google Maps, go to an area that has a CBD or like a town or like a little area of built up urban location, and then go into Street View and just peruse around. Better yet, if you can, get in a car, drive to a neighborhood, and then just walk around that neighborhood. That's Kadori and I's like secret weapon for finding new spots. Just go to pick a suburb that we've never been to, or maybe we've been to once but don't remember, and then just go and mark all the spots down.
Yes. Is Dan Willis your idol?
No.
Who is Dan Willis?
I don't know, but he's not Daniel Lebacker.
Yeah.
Wrong Dan.
Yeah, I see what you did there. All right, how do you train at a spot without getting caught?
Go to spots where getting caught isn't an option.
Raphael, I live in South Australia, by the way, so...
Hi, Jarran. You got a friend.
Yeah, I've got a friend. Yay, someone else on this chat is also from South Australia, I think.
Fucking hell, there's a bunch of you there.
Oh, kids out there. Now I just need to really go out training.
Don't you snort at me.
Alright. Boom. Last question, because it's one that you... Shut up, Dom, and get out of my face. Last question is how long you been doing PK, because you have never answered that question before.
Since 2007, I think August 2000. No, what's the month before September? August 2007. Get off my case.
Oh, Moritz is on this chat, by the way.
Oh shit!
Yeah, shout out Moritz.
Maurizio, what a guy.
Yeah, I think we're good.
That covers us. I'm surprised we made it to an hour, man. I was ready to drop.
Yeah, I know that you're tired, but I don't like you anyway.
I'm not tired. I'm from Australia.
Raphael says
Nadal.
Point A crew. So point. Oh, and Dom, can you shout out? Like, there have been so many people being like, Dom, you are my idol. Can you shout me out? I love you, Dom. I love you.
Okay, I'll drop the chord and seriously say any of those people who are saying that I have the deepest of deepest gratitude. I will try to individually get back to you, shout you out at some point during this endeavor. Yeah, but really, like,
when you actually
I couldn't do it without those people. So those people, big ups. I appreciate every bit of support because I just doing jumps, and if you like that, I'm really glad.
And also, we should probably say that I'm the one that does all of the chat things. But someone one.
Jared.
What?
Jared.
I'm the one looking over here half the time. I'm looking over
Jared.
here. Hey, get off my case, lady.
Okay.
Anyway.
With that, I bid you adieu.
Hey, no.
What?
You can't yet. All right.
Because I said the word.
No, but now you can. All right.
Peace out. Take it easy. Thank you everyone for watching.